There is a truth that most people never fully confront. You are not less than anyone in potential or worth, yet you have learned to live beneath your own power. You might think your biggest obstacle is a lack of opportunity or talent, but the real issue is often more subtle. It is the collection of small excuses you have been repeating for years. Most people move through their lives believing the real version of their life will begin later, when they feel more confident, or when the timing is right. But soon is a dangerous word. It sounds responsible, but it quietly turns into years of living below what you are actually capable of. Success begins the day you decide your life is no longer a rehearsal. It begins when you cross an invisible psychological line and decide to take yourself seriously. This shift isn't about applause. It's about a quiet, internal decision to stop negotiating with your own future. Many people mistakenly believe that self-respect and confidence are emotions you either have or you don't. The truth is that real self-respect is a pattern of behavior. It is found in the standards you refuse to lower, and the quiet decisions you make when nobody else is watching. Every time you make a promise to yourself, like waking up earlier to work on a goal, and you immediately hit snooze, something happens beneath the surface. Your brain quietly learns that your own promises are flexible and your commitments are optional. Over weeks and months, this habit of breaking small promises erodes your internal foundation. You begin to feel like you cannot trust yourself, not because you lack ability, but because you have trained your brain to expect inconsistency. Identity is not discovered, it is built brick by brick, action by action. To rebuild self-trust, you must stop looking for a miracle and start building a structure. The strongest version of you is rooted in discipline, identity, and self-trust. One of the most powerful tools for this is the evidence board. Every day, you must record one small victory, a tangible proof that you are serious about your future. These micro-actions are the fuel of self-belief. When you repeatedly choose your identity over your feelings, your mind begins to trust you again. This is why elite performers rely on identity-based habits. Identity outlasts motivation, mood, and fear. You don't ask, "What do I feel like doing?" You ask, "What action aligns with the person I am becoming?" Why do we avoid taking our lives seriously? Because once you truly commit, your excuses disappear. As long as you only try a little, you have a safety net. If you fail, you can tell yourself you didn't really give it your full effort. This is called self-handicapping, intentionally holding back to protect your ego. But staying slightly disengaged is a trap. There is a quiet freedom in never fully committing, but the hidden cost is that you never discover what you are truly capable of. Like Abraham Lincoln, who faced multiple losses but treated every setback as preparation, you must focus on building capability rather than seeking immediate validation. Capability eventually creates opportunity. Your mornings are the command center of your life. Before the world speaks to you through your phone, your mind must be yours. The strongest people don't negotiate their mornings, they claim them. A kept promise starts with an identity ritual. 1 hour without your phone to put your mind in leadership mode. Movement or reading to realign with your future self. Identity statements. I show up, I lead my life, which act as psychological anchors to interrupt patterns of self-doubt. Self-trust is also built by raising your personal standards. Your standards determine what you accept from yourself. When you raise them, you stop being someone who hopes to try, and become someone who quietly builds progress even when no one is watching. Self-trust gives you a silent advantage. Title. Strategic thinkers win because they control themselves, not because they dominate others. When you trust your own internal structure, you no longer need to explain yourself endlessly or seek external validation. Influence often comes from saying less. In a world where everyone is eager to prove themselves, your restraint becomes a quiet form of power. By keeping promises to yourself in private, you develop a quiet, grounded, unshakable power that others can feel before you say a word. The hardest part of growth is the invisible season, the time when you are doing everything right, but the results are not yet visible. Most people quit during this time because they crave evidence. But you must remain loyal to the process even when the scoreboard is empty. Success without identity collapses, but identity without success eventually rises. Use an identity log to track your decisions instead of external results. Did you keep your promise today? Did you push through resistance? These are the metrics that matter, because delayed rewards create powerful people while instant rewards create fragile ones. Strength is not something you stumble into. It is a choice you make every day. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to decide who you are. Will you let discomfort dictate your identity, or will you let identity dictate your actions? When you fall, and you will fall, the strongest response is the 24-hour reset protocol. Debrief the failure, rest to restore perspective, reset your emotional baggage, and return to action. Your future belongs to the person who believes in it first. Stop treating your life like a side project or a rehearsal. Success begins the day you decide to take yourself seriously and keep the promises you make to yourself.